The deputy mayor, the current deputy mayor of Lusaka, a young lady by the name of Ketty, I don't know her last name, but her first name is Ketty. She took offense at something that I had said concerning the illegal billboards and illegal scammer banners that are littered, I mean literally strewn over the entire topography of this city. And can I tell you, not a single person before me has ever talked about it, which is disturbing, because therein lies the conundrum of where we are in as far as superstition is concerned in this country. Do you know that we are raising a generation of superstitious people? And the catalyst, the vessel, the crucible of this superstition is embedded in these same banners that depict Dr. Sholo, Dr. Suko from Malawi, Dr. Chakuti from the Congo. These people are a malignant cancer to our society. They have planted the seed of superstition. You can see it in the comments. Zambians have been inundated with a false sense of superstition. Zambians will say, no, we katako bantu wala fimba. Wala pofukanga wakumiako. Inganga shida shikari. Mushabara kuchita mbwino mwewa. Mwewa waza kuchita kuipa iwe. Bala kulowa. Bala kuchita weeks. Do you see how ridiculous that sounds? I mean, do you see how preposterous, how utterly devoid of sense that is? No, if you touch it, your hands are going to swell. They will swell beyond the description, Mwewa. If you touch that banner, we won't recognize you, Mwewa. We are not going to look after, we are not going to follow you, Can I tell you, not a single person on this planet, read my lips, hear me, if you are within the sound of my voice, there is not a single person on this planet that has the power to do anything to you. Not a single person has the power to make your hands supernaturally swell. Not a single person has the power to bring back your lost loved ones. If you want to bring back your lost loved ones, maybe you need to go for therapy. Maybe as a couple you need to go for counseling. Why don't you try that? Not a single person can make you pass your exams. Well, if you want to pass your exams, maybe if you studied. Maybe that's an idea. Maybe if you sort of applied yourself. Maybe if you spent, instead of spending 30 minutes reading, maybe if you spent 2 hours studying, maybe you would pass. But no one is going to deposit intelligence like water in a bucket and then pour it into your head. And then all of a sudden, poof, supernaturally, by spontaneous combustion, you're all of a sudden intelligent because of a witch doctor. Or so, don't call them that. They are scammers. When you refer to them as witch doctors, you legitimize them. Mulana Shah, you just exhaust me when you go down that path. Don't refer to them as witch doctors. There is nothing witch doctory about them. They are quintessential, pure con artists. And they prey, P-R-E-Y, not pray, P-R-E-Y. They take advantage of your fear and vulnerability, and they charge you money and you pay them. If you call these jokers and say, I mean, I've called them before, and their numbers are there. Not a single person at Lusaka City Council has ever lifted a finger and said, "Do you know these jokers are they're destroying the fabric of our country. They're polluting the minds of our young people." Keeping in mind that Zambians are highly impressionable. Zambians are impressionable. You just say a small thing. You just talk about one small thing on social media. The whole country will just be. Zambians are highly impressionable. But not a single person at Lusaka City Council has, before me, okay, and not that I'm saying I'm a hero, I'm just giving you the facts as they are, because I know someone here is going to say, "Hey, you're so boastful." No, I'm telling you the truth. Before me, not a single person was talking about the adverse effects of these scammers on our society. But when I started talking about this, I said, these are scammers. My first few, I now have about 12, 13, 15 videos of me tearing down these banners. In the beginning, when I first started doing this, how many comments would I read? Wala kulowa, wala fimba, amoli ala chitantwani. You're gonna swell, your feet are gonna swell. Lightning's gonna strike you, mate. All rubbish. There is no such thing. Nobody has any such power. You've been convinced into believing that superstition. That's why this nation is in the mess that it's in. That's why you have people like mob justice groups that kill an innocent woman on the street because somebody claims their penis and their testicles have disappeared. Well, there's the young man. He was taken to the police. He was inspected. They looked, they undressed him, unrobed him, looked between the meeting of his thighs. The katundu was still there. Insignificant, but intact. Infected, but intact. Infinitesimal, but there. Where do you think that comes from? Have you ever asked yourself that? Where do you think that level of superstition comes from? It comes in part from these same chaps you allow to put banners all over the show. And they know you fear them. They know you fear them. That's why they can put up banners with impunity. They know you're scared. If you tell her, this is why leadership is important. If council police, council police, you get 10 council police officers and you walk with them in Cairo Road, Salama Park, and say to them, okay, Bane, what I need you guys to do, if the commandant, the guy that's in charge of Lusaka City Council Police, his title is commandant. That's a French word. If the commandant calls 10 council police officers and he says, okay, Bane, what I'm going to need you guys to do is let's go. We're moving into Salama Park. We're going to move into Kabalonga. We're going to move into the Kabalonga boys and girls secondary school area. Any white banner that displays a scammer, it's your job to tear it down. Understood? Yeah. Yes, yes. Let's go in there and hit the tires and light the fires. Yeah. Mamba bwana fidia. Kaya vija di bwana. Bwana twala fimba. I beg your pardon? Det twala fimba. What are you talking about? Bwana fidyanga twakumyako fidya alashalale lelo na kula lota fiefiwa pantu inabalandoa. Young man, I am the commandant of this team, and that is an order. It's either you do it or you walk. bwana okay nenaye bantu ine shilefo kufimba shilefo atingana yakunganda katundu ya chita disappear ba madam tabampanye elo madam wandi wachila kamule umfu afye so me I can't risk I love the uniform but ukufumia fidi yawe yena faeni ko bambi musakire ko benango ile siniye ndako. Do you see the level of foolishness that we have to deal with? It's a skewed mind. HH calls it a skewed mind. And we have to re-educate. We have to reorient. We have to unbrainwash our people. And it starts with tearing those things down. So let me continue. So when I made that statement and I started showing videos on social media of me tearing them down, and I would consistently call upon Lusaka City Council to assist me in this effort to unbrainwash our people, I was met with a lot of criticism and opposition. Finally, and kudos to Ndola City Council. Can we get a bit of commotion for Ndola City Council? Can in the comments below, could we give Ndola City Council a round of applause? Just type the clapping hands, all of you, if you could. Let's give a moment. Let's give a moment to Ndola City Council. Ndola City Council, under the leadership of that mayor there in Ndola, he became assertive. He said, no, this is rubbish, this is nonsense. We are not going to subject the citizens of Ndola to this nonsense. Ndola City Council, using a law that already exists, because this is the problem with our councils. Our laws are already there. What is absent is enforcement. That is what is absent. Ndola City Council took the bold step of reclaiming the consciousness of the young people of Ndola, and the mayor of Ndola said, no, we're not going to do this. This is rubbish. Tear down those signs as per the law. As per the law. The laws are there. There is a law in our statutes that prohibits indiscriminate display, illegal posting or erecting of billboards and signage. Did you know that anything you hammer on a tree is illegal? Did you know that? Did you not know that? Well, if you didn't know that, you should know that. I mean, I would imagine that the deputy mayor of Lusaka, I would imagine she would know that. But it's clear to me that she has no idea what's going on. Because had she known that, had the deputy mayor of Lusaka known that it is illegal and the law is already in place, the laws already exist that prohibit indiscriminate erection or installation of signs on a tree and illegal signs. Had she known that, she wouldn't have made that statement when she said, no, council is not for jokers. Anyone who says when they become mayor, they'll just on their own individually just pronounce kuti no even anabuela vimasaini inzavichosa. The laws are there. It's got nothing to do with Mwewa. It has everything to do with enforcement, which is what is lacking. In the current council administration, what is lacking there is enforcement. You got these young people running around here. All they ever do, I mean, no offense, I will tell you now, I find it amusing that the deputy mayor of Lusaka, Kete, who I must confess is a very pretty girl, okay? But if beauty is the only thing you bring to the table, then you're not the right person for the job. Let me say it again. If comeliness, if light, fairness, if all that rouge, you know what rouge is? Rouge is a French word. It means red. Okay, the inference is makeup. When you hear, so this is a southern thing. If you've ever been to the southern part of the United States, when somebody says you got all that rouge on your face, what that means is you got all that makeup on your face. If beauty is the only thing you bring to the table, then you're not the right one for the job. Bruce Lee, as I earlier said, Bruce Lee famously said, never take your eyes off your opponent, even when you bow. So I took the time to examine Ketty's Facebook footprint, her digital footprint. One would think that an aspiring mayor would post more about what they're going to do for the city and how they're going to improve the city. But 90% of everything Ketty posts on her page is about her beauty. It's about posting her cute hair and her orange hair and her rouge and her cute dresses, and you know, she'll dance a couple of times and you know, she'll flash her hair and she'll do one of these if she's wearing, you know, if she's wearing Brazilian hair or whatever the heck that stuff is. You know, she'll do one of these and sort of look sexily into the camera, and you know, sort of, she has this come hither look. Well, if that's all you're bringing to the table, well, then I think you've got a big problem. You're not the one for the job. What I want to see, Ketty, and I say this with love, I do. What I want to see is I want you to talk about what you're going to do for this city. We love the fact that you're beautiful, and you are. We love the fact that you're cute as all get out, and you are. But if that is all you're bringing to the table, that, my dear, is unsustainable. You got to bring more than that. You got to put your game face on, and you have to bring your A game. Looks alone is not going to do it. Not in this world. It might get you by in some other area, which we ain't going to talk about, but it's not going to get you by in this area. Let's be real. I mean, let's go ahead and just break it down and say it the way that it's supposed to be said. All right. So my point, Ketty can scream and whoop and holler all she wants. She can stand on the highest mountaintop and say, no, council is not for jokers. When you hear at council, we've got standing orders. We've got the law. So this Mwewa, when he says that he's going to remove Vima banners, he's going to remove Vima illegal billboards. How is he going to do that without a consensus? What consensus? The law is there. Just implement it. Enforce it. Do you know that Lusaka City alone, never mind those scammer banners, Lusaka City has more than 200 illegal billboards. Billboards that illegal people are paying insiders. They're kuja ku council kuja. They're paying them. Paying them. And you're not tishi, no. Don't be deceived. There's a river of dirty money flowing there at Lusaka City Council. A river of dirty money. There is a river of dirty billboard, illegal billboard money that is flowing through the council, and you would be shocked at the number of people that are benefiting from an illegal operation. Meanwhile, the city is being choked with illegal billboards. Everywhere you go, Nima billboards. Everywhere. Bamusebo on the side of the road, but you can't even see the road. The road is choked, blocked. You go to Church Road. All those trees. DSTV repairs. English teachers. Hey, we've got the maids that we want to hire to you. Hey, I'm a plumber. Hey, we are windscreen wipers. We fix windscreen. Everywhere you go, even my billboards, go and say, the beauty of the road is not even being realized. Why? Because we've got more than 200 illegal billboards that if a small select few, there is a clique of thieves there at Lusaka City Council that are benefiting from illegal billboards, and no one is talking about it. Lelo, today, Katie, a deputy mayor of Lusaka City Council of Lusaka, stands up and says, no, this council is not for jokers. It's not for jokers. It's a very serious business. Here there's consensus. Here there's cohesiveness. There's a standing order. So Mwewa is just living a pipe dream. What? Enforce the law. And Kete, from today, could we see a bit more than just that flashy hair? Can we do that? Could we see a bit more than that rouge? Can we see a bit more than those long, meticulous nails? Can we see a bit more than that? You know, if you could offer the city a bit more than this, and then the batting of the eyes, and then the come hither look, you get somewhere. You would. But we do love you, though. Let's just be clear. It's just politics, guys. Come on. Give me a break. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you guys. Now, let's talk about John General. Must we do that? Literally, John General makes me want to hurl. I kid you not. Everything in me just wants to regurgitate when his name comes up. Chaps my hide, that guy. Well, the other day, now notwithstanding, John General is still in court for on allegations of raping a woman, which in my view, and this is my comment, I think that when you charge people, charge them with the right charge. I think what he should have been charged with was attempted rape, not rape. It'd be very difficult for the state to prove rape, but it's easier to prove attempted rape. That could be I'm not going to say much about that because that is the law, and I do not want to be in the crosshairs rather, of the judicial system. Do you know what I mean? Right, so John General the other day he had a fake conversation with an imp. Can you believe this? Some guy, you know, Zambia. Well, it happens all over the world. I've seen it everywhere. I've seen it in America. I've seen it everywhere. It's the most ridiculous thing, you know. Some young man claiming to be demon possessed, writhing on the ground, you know, like a demon. And then there is John General saying, and then there's the little demon imp saying, oh, so what is setting? You're setting me. You know, I looked at that and I thought, I tell you what, not only is this so-called demon irritating, the thing is uneducated. I mean, how the hell are you going to cast out an uneducated, illiterate demon? So you're setting me when he's setting anyway. And there's John General. I think he had a handkerchief or something. He was standing over the thingy. Iwe chita iwe na kuka let fear hey uni setinga wala chimona lelo. Absolute nonsense. totally ridiculous. And I know there's some of you, well, Mwewa, you're just not a man of faith. I am a man of faith. I know in whom I have believed, and I'm persuaded that he's able to keep that which I have committed unto him against that day. Don't mess around with me, man. I'm Bible. I am Bible. Don't mess around with me, boy. You can't deceive me. When Reverend Ismaili was the minister, in those days, we had the Minister of Religious Affairs. I used to go to Ismaili's office. The number one thing, and she would always say this to me, she said, Mwewa, you have no idea how messed up this country is in as far as these papas. Mawe, what, you're now left you poor? And she told me one story. She says to me, she says, a man, a husband, went to the Ministry of Religious Affairs to complain. That, my wife, I've given my wife a very big warning, never to go to this Papa church. He proceeds to narrate the story. I gave my wife a gift. I bought her a brand new Jeep Cherokee. Jeep Cherokee, you know those beautiful American cars? Brand new. The husband never went to the same church that the wife went to. And this is why it's important. You must go to church as a couple. The wife goes to a Papa church, the husband is a Catholic. That is completely wrong. If the husband is Catholic, the wife should be attending that Catholic church. Your job as a wife is to support your husband. Not you are going to a Papa church and your husband is going somewhere else. That is nonsense. And your papas love that. When a papa hears that the husband is not in the picture, they will consume you. Papas love that. But the case nabalume. Elo kalensha moto ka Jeep Cherokee. They consume with no shame. The only thing a papa is concentrating on when he sees a young woman who has no active present husband when she comes to church, he is just thinking of removing your ntwan and devouring the diamond between the meeting of your thighs. I know that's graphic, but that is where it is. That is what it is. And that is how we must speak about this issue, honestly and openly. So this man says to Reverend Ismaili, when I bought my wife the car, her papa, the pastor of that church, called her to the office and said, Mommy, I've been dreaming about you. And the woman, Papa, you've been dreaming about me? Yes. I'm very disturbed. The Spirit of the Lord has come upon me and is prompting me to share some things with you that are pertinent. What are they, Papa? I've seen the demon of death hovering. In Zambia we say hovering. Hovering. It's hovering, but in Zambia we say hovering. I see the spirit of death hovering over your family, and I see in my dream when you are driving the car, this new car you are driving, I see a coffin, a black coffin in the back of the vehicle. And every time I see this in my dream, I wake up in a cold sweat and I bombard the gates of glory and I intercede on your behalf, my sister. So, Papa, what are we going to do? My sister, there's only one thing that can be done. And I speak as of the oracles of God. The Spirit of the Lord has come upon me. I've seen it in the realm of the Spirit. God is telling me, give me your car for 3 months so that I drive it and I be praying over it. When I pray over it, whilst I'm praying over it, but I must be driving it, so that this spirit of death is excised, is removed from the vehicle. So, Papa, all I have to do is just give you my keys? Yes, Nipase maki. Talikuti maki iwe. Give me the keys to that vehicle so that I pray over it. But it will only take 3 months. Well, Papa, if you say so, I mean, you're the man of God, and and who am I to argue with you? If you've seen it in the realm of the spirit, by God, I know you have. Here are the keys. The wife goes home. The husband drives in. They're sitting at the dinner table. The husband looks at the wife and says, honey, where the hell is that car I bought for you? Oh, honey, I forgot to tell you about that. I gave it to the papa. You did what? Oh, I gave it to my church pastor. He had some dream about me, and he was talking about death and all this stuff, and I didn't want to deal with that. So he told me that I had to give him the car for 3 months so that he can pray over us and pray over the car. It's okay, honey. The car will be back in 3 months. The husband said, the hell it will. I'm going over to that papa's office tomorrow morning. I'm going to get your car back. And from now on, I don't ever want you to go to that church again. You understand me? Do you understand? Well, honey, he's my papa. I don't care who he is. You're my wife. That is the car I bought for you. The husband goes to the papa's office. He bursts into the papa's office. He says, Negro, you better give me the keys to the car that I bought for my wife, or else I'm going to have you sprawled out on the floor. There are going to be 2 hits. I'm going to hit you, and you're going to hit the ground. Give me the keys before I go crazy on your butt. Oh, sorry. Here, take the keys. The husband takes the keys. He drives off. The papa calls the wife. The audacity, the unmitigated gall. That's why I tell you people, when you allow these papas into your families, they even have the courage to call your wife. This idiotic pastor, he calls the wife. Your husband was here and he forcefully took the keys. But whilst he was going, I saw in the realm of the spirit, one of you is going to die within 30 days. You see how manipulative they are? They are bad news, those chaps. They destroy families with a big smile on their faces. Reverend Smaili, she told me, she says, Mwewa, abama papa zaba, makamaka mu makombo nyumu. Badiona ulama families. Badiona ule fupo. They've destroyed relationships in families. Stories that if you were to hear them, you are just shocked. That is what's happening. So anyone that says to me, no, those signs, leave them. No. If the people of Lusaka give me an opportunity to serve as mayor of this great city, every last one of them is going down. Why? Not because of an individualistic approach, but because the law says it. The provision in the law is there. The only thing missing, the only thing lacking is enforcement. So, Katie, you are misinformed. You are misguided. You are completely unaware of the laws that exist in and around you, even whilst you are deputy mayor of this city. You are devoid of the laws and the statutes as they are. Educate yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. All right. Twalanda Pafula, Patch to Felix. Thanks for a couple of comments. Leon says, this is actually true. Yes. Bo Allen is cracking up. I love it when you crack up, Bo. I love it. I hate these so-called papas with passion. They're dangerous. Dangerous people. That's why Kagame in Rwanda, zero tolerance when it comes to that. Zero tolerance when it comes to those chaps. That's what we need in this country. I'm telling you. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.